Hi friends, in this session we study about the short tricks of ratio in proportion. So here I will tell you the short tricks, two short tricks in this session. First, if the ratio of the numbers is given to us and the difference is also given to us, so how we'll get those numbers. So I will explain first how we get this trick. Look at here, if two numbers are in the ratio of a is to b, and difference between these numbers is x, then these numbers will be there are two conditions. If a is greater than b, then ax over a minus b and bx over a minus b. If a is smaller than b, then ax over b minus a and bx over b minus a respectively. So in this way we get this. So first I explain how we form this trick, how we get this trick. So I will give the explanation. So let a and b are numbers, where we assume that a is equal to ak and b is equal to bk, because the ratio is to b, so we should have one highest common factor between a and b, so which is k. So now as per the given condition, we know that because if we assume that a is greater than b, the ratio a is to b, where a is greater than b, so a is greater than b, therefore a number is greater than b number. So a minus b, the difference of these two numbers is x. So the difference is given here, x. So we are taking this. Now we put the value of a and b, because we know that a is equal to ak and b is equal to bk. So I will write down here ak minus bk is equal to x. Implies that k I am taking common outside, so a minus b is equal to x. Therefore k is equal to x over a minus b. Now I explain how we get this a and b ratio, the value of a and the value of b through this ratio a and b. So because we know that a is equal to ak, therefore a is equal to a, and the value of k we have here. So we write down instead of k, x over a minus b. Similarly, b is equal to bx over a minus b. So in this way we get this short trick. So now I explain with one tutor track example. Here we see this tutor track example. Two numbers are in the ratio of 4:5 and difference between these numbers 24. Find two numbers. So look at here, there is a ratio 4:5 we have. So 4:5 means 4 is smaller than 5. It means a is smaller than b here. So this is our a and this is our b. And the difference is x we have. So here we have the condition. First we have to keep our mind a is smaller than b. So now we simplify this. We know that if a is smaller than b, then because number a is equal to ax over b minus a. So now we put down these values. A is 4, x is 24 we have, and b is 5, a is 4. So you get here 24 4 times, so it is 96 we have, and the 5 minus 4 is 1. So you get here 96. Another we see Now other number would be, because b is equal to bx over b minus a. B here is 5, x is 24 we have, and 5 minus 4 in denominator. So 24 5 times 120 over 1, so which is 120. So here we have got both the numbers 96 and 120. Now friends, I would like to tell you about the another short tricks. Here we see the ratios are given to us in the, we have to find the continuous ratio, or the two ratios, the two part of the continuous ratios are given to us. So here you see there are two sort of tricks we are taking here. First one is a is to b is equal to n1 is to d1. N1 is the numerator for, and the d1 is denoting the denominator, and b is to c is n2 is to d2, then a is to b is to c. So the product of both the numerator we have to write down in the first term, and then replace the numerator of first term with the denominator of first term, and the numerator of second term we have to put at as, and the product of these two we have to type, and finally we have to replace n2 with d2. So in this way we got this, or it is very easy to keep in our mind. It is very easy to remember. Now if we have the ratio, three ratios is given: a is to b n1 over d1, b is to c n2 over d2, and c is to d n3 over d3. So here we have to do the same thing. First, in the first term we have to take the product of all the numerator n1, n2 and n3, and the second we have to replace first numerator with first denominator, other will remain same. In the third term we have to second numerator with second denominator, and finally in the fourth term we have to replace the third numerator with third denominator. So it's very easy. So now we take one example. So here I explain one example relating to this first type sort question. So a is to b is equal to 3 is to 4. So here a is to b is equal to 3 is to 4, and b is to c is equal to 8 is to 9. Find a is to b is to c. So here what we have to do, and the short trick is very simple. This is our n1. Just a moment. This is our n1, and this is our d1 numerator, and we are denoting the numerator, and d is denoting the denominator. It is the n2 and d2. So what we have to do, we have to follow n1 into n2 in the first term. The second term we have to write down d1 into n2. Now I have to replace the second numerator also, d1 into d2. So in this way we have to write down here. So here n1, you see it is 3, and n2 is 8. We have d1 is 4 and n2 is 8 we have, and d1 is 4 and d2 is 9. So let us see what happens. 8 3 times 24, 8 4 times 32, and 9 4 times 36. So we have got this ratio. Now we could simplify this. If we could divide it by 4. So if we divide this by 4, so 4 6 times, 4 6 times, 4 8 times, 4 9 times. So this would be the ratio 6 is to 8 is to 9. 6 is to 8 is to 9. So this we have got the ratio of a is to b is to c. It's very simple and very easy. Now I explain you one more example. A is to b is equal to 2 is to 3, b is to c is equal to 4 is to 5, and c is to d is equal to 6 is to 7. We have to find the ratio of a is to d. So here I explain once more. So first of all we have to take the product of all the numerators. So it is the n1 into n2 into n3. Now we have to replace first numerator with first denominator. Here you see d1 into n2 into n3. Now we have to replace n with the numerator number 2 with the denominator 2. So d1 into d2 into n3. Now we have to replace the third numerator with third denominator. So it is d1 into d2 into d3. So it's very simple to keep in our mind. Now I explain. It is our n1. It is our d1, n2, d2, n3 and d3. Now we put here, instead of n1 we will put 2, 4 and 6. Here d1, 3, 4, 6. d1 is 3, d2 is 5 and n3 is 6 again, and here d1, d2, d3, 3, 5, 7. 3, 5, 7. Now multiply these. So 6 4 times 24, 2 times 48. So we get here 48. There you see 6 4 times 24 or 24 3 times 72. 5 3 times 15 and 6 times 90 and 7 5 times 35, 3 times 105. So this is our ratio 48 is to 72 is to 90 is to 105. But we have to find the ratio of A is to D. So look at here, A is to D. This is our A, B, C, D. A is to D. We have to write down this. This is equal to 48 is to 105. So we could divide it by 3 also. So we get the final ratio 3 1 times, 3 6 times, 3 3 times, 3 5 times. So it is 16 is to 35 would be the ratio of A is to D. So in this way we could easily find out the ratio.